Mr. Amjad Khan, hi again.
Hello.
Hi. So, what are the biggest challenges you have seen in your 12 years journey with Terra so far?
That's a very good question, and a question that we constantly look at. So we operate in a spirit of a growth mindset, which means to understand what are the mistakes we firstly ourselves personally are doing in order to improve our business, but also what is the issues that happen around us and what can we learn from these mistakes in order to get positive outcomes to be more successful. To be honest, the biggest challenge we see is in the mindset. In very many countries of the world, you will notice that the standards of road design are at least 40, if not 60 years old. So, really written at a different point of time where they had different environmental situations. In those days, there were no situation where you had, a risk of running out of primary aggregates due to natural resources on this planet being curbed, right? So today, for example, if you look at the Philippines, this is one of the countries I'm aware of where they've imposed quarry restrictions simply because they've realized that they can't keep on with this space of, destroying the natural resources of their country for primary aggregates. Now, that's a problem we address because our road building technology does not need any primary aggregates or minimal primary aggregates, depending on the quality of the soil. But it's the mindset, it's the willingness to genuinely make a change for the benefit of the country's natural resources, but also, frankly speaking, for the benefit of the people, because if you can have roads which are of much better quality than the conventional road system you're using today, cheaper than the conventional road system, as well as beneficial for the environment, why wouldn't you do that, right? And the reason you wouldn't do that is because it's, the mindset. Someone needs to take the leadership, the authority, and say, all right, we need to change the system. People are reluctant to change. People who've been in politics for a long time, for decades altogether, don't want to have that change. They're comfortable where they are. On the other hand, disruption is also something that is certain times, I would say, scary to certain players in the market. Uh, but it happens. And at some point of time, you're not going to be able to prevent it. If you think about the genius thought of an Uber, how that changed the entire transportation industry with taxis. A lot of people would oppose it. Some countries have banned it, but it's happened. You can't stop that. And there are so many different examples of disruption. So what I'm saying is that over time, as the decades go by, you got to keep up with the space of technology. You got to keep up with the space of necessary measures to preserve our beautiful planet and environment. Otherwise, you're not going to be relevant, and otherwise, you're going to lag behind. So, for the benefit of the economy of your country, to improve the infrastructure in your country, to be able to clear out what I call the maintenance backlog, of your terrible roads, how do you, balance the budget between new infrastructure and clearing out the backlog of maintenance for the current roads? If those roads are of bad quality, as we know, any road that has reached a certain degradable state and has a certain number of potholes, if you don't repair that in the next 12 months, that will reach a state where you can't repair it anymore, period. You got to build a new road over there again. So there's this conundrum of what I call the conundrum or the dilemma of being able to utilize the budget you get for your fiscal year in the best possible way for your country. And when I mean best possible way for your country, I'm talking about impacting lives, creating enough new infrastructure to improve the economical conditions of people living in poverty because they live in very isolated rural areas where they simply don't have the possibility to bring their commodities into the urban areas to sell. And secondly, reducing the number of deaths that occur because of bad roads. One can argue that road accidents happen due to alcohol, rash driving, etc., etc. I agree, but there is at least a certain number of road accidents that happen due to the bad conditions the roads are in. If that is something we can control, then why not? Right? So, just to summarize, it's all about the mindset and the willingness to do the change. I will end by saying, I'm very proud to say this, that We're currently in negotiations with the government of Philippines where they're actually open-minded to changing their current standards, their default standards of road quality when it comes to the comprehensive strength, when it comes to the quality of their roads. They're opening up their eyes. They've formally asked us to, have them understand what the Swiss standards in Switzerland are. We're famous for our infrastructure here. There's a reason for that. And if that happens, honestly, that is the first country where I have personally been involved to literally upgrade the national standards of road building for the whole country.
That's absolutely fantastic to see how technology is able to change a human life towards the best, and also to look at a better future also for our kids as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Change has to happen. Without change, you're limiting the potential for the future generations. It's very simple like that. You're not going to hear these birds chirping anymore very soon. Once there are no resources because you're cutting trees for quarry work, you need to cut stone for quarry work. Eventually things will diminish and it's going to be a different world or different planets to live in. So it's up to us. It's our responsibility to ensure that we do the right thing. And that's where we dedicate the vision and mission of our company for. Thank you.